Derrimut is a public-private partnership school, purpose-built around collaboration and having campfires, caves and watering holes for people to come together and learn. So caves for when you need to think deeply about something and a little bit of space, watering holes when you need to share information, and campfires when you're telling your learning journey. Where it's strengthened the most is when we started with the NPDL project, and we use those tools to have insight, oversight and foresight of the strategy going forward, with the laser focus on those little faces and what do they need.
Using the 6 C's in connection with the solo, with the deep learning quadrant and the collaborative inquiry cycle, we're able to see a bigger picture of what might be going on for kids. The collaborative inquiry cycle has become an anchor for our whole school. We've had action research models before, but I think the difference with this one was that it was anchored in student data, and now it's being used at all levels of our school and in all curriculum areas.
We used it to design for learning. We use it to assess where our children are. The children are using it. And then as a leadership team, we use it as evidence to say, where are our teachers in this? What do we need to learn to actually enable this to happen? Through that then, we were connected to the solo taxonomy.
Everybody could see straight away that the solo was an amazing tool that just enabled everybody, no matter whether you're a prep teacher, a 5-6 teacher or a student anywhere in the school, to have a conversation about your own understanding, your own skills, the depth of your thinking.
It helps us really think of where we are and where we can improve and what we should try to do next.
I have ideas, but they have not been tested. I have a few questions. I have told some others about my ideas, but I haven't heard about their ideas, and I want to show more in my learning.
So it's great for student self-efficacy about progressing themselves along the solo and for that co-constructed goal setting. It's also great evidence for us to see their self-assessment and their understanding, and what evidence do they have to justify that growth.
When the teachers are planning, they look at what we enjoy, then we come up with a burning question which we're desperate to answer. It has to be an open-ended question.
The direction that it takes will depend on the student's current understanding. It's teacher-framed, student-led, but we're making sure that we know our students before we can start designing. Some other tools that have been really valuable at our school have been using the 6 C's as a way to develop students' dispositional learning and recognising that we can apply all of these into multiple contexts.
We were focusing on creativity, critical thinking and collaboration. In this task, we had to think outside the box, and that's when our creativity came into place.
We have started putting in place consistent check-ins where we're gathering data against the deep learning rubric, so the 4 elements of deep learning. Every single team is analysing themselves to see how they are going against each principle.
And it just helps us really think about it as a whole rather than just the concept. So where in the real world would our kids be able to make a connection to this?
Until our whole school had really gone through that process, everybody wasn't on the same page with how to design for deep learning, or as a teacher, what you needed to do to be transparent or for students to get that feedback and to be able to self-assess. But we're seeing so much growth in such a short amount of time.
Being part of the NPDL community, it's a way of being true to our values and our philosophy of learning, but also a way of being true to being rigorous. The strongest thing for me was the roundedness that NPDL gave us in terms of looking at the whole child, and that's so important. So it privileged other ways of knowing, other ways of learning and other data sets to say that our kids were growing and achieving.